Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible and you can hear me. I'm waiting for feedback from Alpha. Can you hear me, Alpha? So anyway, we are here waiting for a very interesting AMA. Like to start, please invite all your friends, people. Invite everyone you know. This is going to be awesome, I think. So grab a friend, have them join, and we will start soon. So we have Jonathan with us here now. Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud
There
and
you
clear.
are. Very nice. I can hear you also loud and clear.
Perfect.
Perfect. So we are already recording, which always happens on Twitter Space, so I've told. So let's start the AMA.
Yeah,
And I would like to welcome you all to this interesting AMA here at Crypto Miners Twitter Space. My name is Mary, and I'm going to be your host today. And we are going to learn more about this project called Pendulum or Pendulum Chain. And with us to teach us more about this magnificent project is Mr. Jonathan Helveg. Welcome, Jonathan.
hey Mary, hey community. It's a pleasure to be here today. And yeah, let's get to the bottom of what we are all about.
Yes, please. I've tried to read some of your light paper, and I got a little bit stuck in the beginning where all the technical stuff were, but then I found my way through it. And I can't wait to hear more about it. But please tell us also a little bit about you, yourself, and your team. It's a huge team, as I saw on the webpage.
Right. Yeah, with pleasure. Yeah. So I'm Jonathan. I'm the community manager of Pendulum and also of Amplitude, which is our Kusama sister parachain. I'm sure we'll get into that at a later stage. And yeah, I've been involved with crypto for almost a decade now. And personally, I'm coming more from the EVM chain world and have stumbled into this rabbit hole of Dotsama, so Polkadot and Kusama and all the parachains related to it earlier this year. And ever since, it has really grabbed my attention just with how innovative the space is, how collaborative it is. And now, of course, a little bit of a biased opinion, but I'm personally very much convinced that all the innovation in crypto and DeFi is currently happening in the Polkadot and Kusama space. And we're very happy to contribute to that. And so our team is
Wow.
30 people big. and we are currently hiring. So yeah, definitely check out our career section. So yeah, big team, very talented people, all very motivated, and yeah, that's a short introduction about myself and the team. Probably you will want to hear a little bit about Pendulum as well.
Yes,
Sure.
please. I would love to hear about Pendulum, and also because I'm also not very familiar with the Polkadot and that side of crypto yet, but I'm very, very excited to know more. So please tell us what is Pendulum, and before maybe you go into some more details or technical things, which you probably would want to, what kind of problems in the crypto world are you aiming to solve or fix with this new project?
Right. That is, yeah, getting right to the bottom of it. So, yeah, in short, we are trying to become an infrastructure blockchain for traditional finance. As we are seeing, there is still a huge gap between traditional finance and DeFi. Only a small portion of what is available in traditional finance so far has made its way into the DeFi space. So we are very eager to change that. And the biggest use case that we are trying to unlock for the crypto world is on-chain forex trading. That is something that has been tried a few times, failed all of the time. But yeah, we are very much convinced that with the products that we are rolling out and providing the blockchain infrastructure for it, that this is finally going to become a reality. And that is going to be certainly very interesting for anybody. Whether you are going to actively participate in that market or whether you want to provide liquidity and earn yield. There is an abundance of opportunities for a lot of parties that is going to be opened up. And yeah, that is essentially the use case that we are trying to unlock and the problem that we are trying to solve.
That sounds amazing. So how are you planning to educate people about this? Because as we all know, there are lots of blockchains out there and everyone's trying to become the next big one, I guess. And you said you're biased, but you said Polkadot is one of the best ones so far that you have seen. So how are you going to educate us about it?
Right. So admittedly, there is a little bit of a steep learning curve for everybody that wants to get involved with Polkadot, Kusama, and its parachains. But I would not really think that this is going to be a huge problem going forward. Just because the amount of innovation and cool stuff that you can do within the Polkadot ecosystem, I think that is going to be very much convincing people to actually go the extra mile to install a wallet that gives you access to the exciting world of .sama. And yeah, that is how we are trying to gather support from people and let them know that a lot of cool things are happening by just presenting all of the opportunities that are going to arise from having, yeah, a DeFi blockchain that is really bridging the gap between traditional finance and blockchain.
Okay. So, okay, now I'm going to let you loose to tell us more about Pendulum. What is Pendulum and how would you like to explain it for us?
Right. So Pendulum is going to be a parachain of Polkadot. So we are going to have a crowd loan in which we are trying to win a Polkadot parachain lease slot. And that is an opportunity for everybody to get involved. So essentially, this will mean that people will have the opportunity to lock up their DOT tokens for 2 years. And in return, if the crowd loan is successful and we actually get the parachain lease slot, this will then in return mean that people are going to receive Pendulum tokens. Now, why you would want to receive Pendulum tokens, I think that is the juicy part here, is, yeah, we are building an interoperable blockchain that is going to gather high quality fiat tokens, and we are all going to bring it together in a single powerful DeFi network. And as mentioned before, this is really at the core of what we're doing. We are trying to build the missing link between fiat and DeFi. We're going to have a forex optimized smart contracts DeFi system. And of course, all the other things that you already know from DeFi, we will also be hosting those. So lending protocols, yield farming, composable fiat solutions, we're all going to be having that. And the fact that we are going to become a Polkadot parachain is also going to enable us to do all of these things at very low cost for the end users at much greater speed. And also we are going to benefit from the shared security of the Polkadot network. So that is what we are trying to do. You can get involved when we are going to have our crowd loan that is going to be happening at the last quarter of this year. And that will be a very good way for people to get involved. And
what is really this crowd loan? I read about it also in the light paper. What does it mean really? Because I have never heard about it before.
Yeah, that is one of the things that is probably a little bit hard to understand from the get-go, because Polkadot is having a few additional layers of functionality compared to Ethereum. So what a crowd loan really is, let's start it differently. So Polkadot is having a finite resource, which are parachain lease slots. And you can become a parachain and plug into the Polkadot network. And to do that, you will have to bid DOT tokens, so Polkadot tokens, in order to outcompete all the other contenders for a parachain lease slot. There's going to be a 1-week period where people can, or projects can bid DOT tokens, and the winner gets selected to actually get the parachain lease slot. Now, projects are usually taking the approach that they are raising the required DOT tokens from the community. And in exchange, the community is going to receive project tokens because they are actually helping the project to secure the parachain lease slot. So there's the parachain lease slot, and the crowd loan is basically just a means of attaining that set parachain lease slot. So yeah, you lock up your DOT tokens for 2 years in case that the project is successful. Then you will be receiving project tokens. And should it not be successful, then your DOT tokens get unlocked immediately. So it's actually a pretty neat way for people to get their hands on new and interesting projects without really sacrificing anything, but locking up their DOT tokens for 2 years.
So this parachain lease slot, is that, why would I want that?
Well, if you are becoming a parachain, then you can enjoy the shared security of Polkadot. So that is one of the main reasons, or has been so far. And also there is a lot of functionality that is going to be enabled for your blockchain if you actually secure it. So one of those would, for example, be cross-chain messaging, which is a very advanced technology. So basically, what this means is that you could lock up collateral on one chain and mint a loan on another chain without the need of actually bridging tokens. So parachains on Polkadot can communicate in a way which other blockchains really cannot do at the moment. And therefore it is just a very rich ecosystem to tap into. And that's why we are aiming for Pendulum to also secure a parachain lease slot. We've already done it successfully with Amplitude. We secured a parachain lease slot on Kusama. And now we are going to bring out the big guns and also do it for Pendulum on Polkadot.
I see. So you do it together with the community, or everyone can like scoop in and help?
Exactly.
Achieving this, or okay, I get it now. Thank you. Nice. So what else is there about this? It's a token, right?
Yeah.
Also that you're releasing.
Yes. So Pendulum will have its native token PEN, which is going to power transactions, which is going to be used for consensus staking. And we're also having quite a few cool ideas on how to give more utility to it. Also, we are exploring dApp-specific use cases for Pendulum tokens. And there's going to be a lot that you can do right off the gate. You can either engage in our DeFi ecosystem, you can stake them for consensus. And there's more. I can't reveal that just yet, but it's definitely going to be very thrilling.
So you didn't launch this token yet?
That is correct. So if somebody is taking interest in our project and token, the crowd loan that is coming up in the next quarter is going to present a huge opportunity to, it's going to be the first opportunity to get your hands on Pendulum tokens. All you have to do is to lock up Polkadot for 2 years. And should we succeed in winning the Parachain lease slot, this will mean that all of the contributors that helped us are going to be receiving Pendulum tokens. So yeah, we hope that we can gather as much support as we did the last time with our Kusama sister chain. We really smashed that one. And yeah, we are very hopeful that it's going to be a repeated success with trying our crowd loan for Pendulum.
So let's hope not, but what happens if you don't succeed?
Well, that is
you lose your money, or?
Yeah, that is the cool thing about crowd loans. So let's say that you're locking up your DOT tokens for 2 years to signal your support for Pendulum to obtain a Parachain lease slot. Should we fail, then your tokens get unlocked immediately. So you have your DOT tokens back.
Okay.
So there is really very, very little downside to trying to help us achieve the Parachain lease slot.
Then it's easy to help, because then there is no backside, really. You can't lose.
Right. Yeah, the only cost is having to lock up your DOT tokens for 2 years, but we are very hopeful that we are going to make it very, very worthwhile for everybody that decides to chip in.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I read there are lots of names around this Pendulum. There's Kusama, you mentioned, which is a sister blockchain, or?
Yeah. So yeah, let me just briefly touch upon the relation of Polkadot and Kusama. So Kusama is essentially a real testnet for Polkadot. So you can build on Kusama, you can use DeFi applications on Kusama, and although it is more or less having a testnet character, all of that will have real financial consequences. So Kusama is basically where you want to battle test your applications, network parameters, and if that is all going well and smooth, then you are usually introducing all of these changes on Polkadot. And very much the same is the relation of Amplitude, our Kusama sister chain, and Pendulum, which is going to be running as a Polkadot parachain. Amplitude is where we are going to test all the innovative stuff. So there is definitely a lot of incentive to get involved there as well, as you'll be very early. And when that is all going smooth and well, then things will go live on Pendulum too. So yeah, I hope that explains it well. Let me know if I skipped over here something.
Yeah. There's some name called Dotsama that you also mentioned a lot. What is that really then?
Right. Yeah, that is just the merge name of Polkadot and Kusama, because it is such an integrated ecosystem, right? So you take the dot of Polkadot and the Zama of Kusama, you merge it, and what you get is Dotsama.
Very nice. Cool. We have some questions from the audience. I got 2 questions here from the boss. Mm-hmm. Should I read them for you?
Please, let's hear them.
I read that Pendulum Chain has Pendulum Grant Program and also Amplitude Grant Program. I would like to know how these programs are designed to be systematic, efficient, and transparent. How developers, researchers can create values and fast-growing community with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good question. Thanks to whoever asked that one. So yeah, we are running essentially 2 grant programs. One for Amplitude, again, which is our Kusama sister chain, and also for Pendulum, which is going to be the Polkadot parachain that we are launching. And essentially, we are inviting everybody that is wanting to build applications on our blockchains to join our grant program. So you can apply for funding, and we have outlined what we are looking for. So that should give everybody a good idea of what we are looking for. And yeah, we are trying to have very close-knit communication with everybody that applies. So yeah, we are quick to give feedback on your application, or yeah, suggest improvements. So yeah, we are a very having very short communication lines with everybody that is trying to apply. And I think we are very clear on what it is that we are looking for. But of course, we're always open also for suggestions. So if you're having a very cool idea that is not included in the list of things that we are trying to fund, please get in touch. We always love to hear it. And yeah, we will all review these applications very thoroughly.
Good to know that you care about your community also, that and take them to heart if they have well, things to help with.
Yeah, definitely.
Or ideas.
That's very important to us. Yeah.
Okay, and very important. Yeah. Another question is: I read that Pendulum built on Substrate. What led you to decide using Substrate to power your platform? Were you influenced by the high impact of Polkadot in the blockchain field? What features of it will you recreate on Pendulum? Is Pendulum directly related to Polkadot itself?
Another great question. Okay, so yeah, I'm the community manager of Pendulum and Amplitude, so I'm not really too big on technical questions. But our development team has very strong opinions on building on Substrate. And yeah, so the things that I gathered here is that it really allows for much quicker execution on transactions. Also, if you're building dApps, you are having much quicker response times. So yeah, and then there's also that you can easily stack pallets on top of another. So it is really very efficient, development friendly, as far as I can tell. And yeah, it's probably one of the most advanced ways of creating contracts these days. But if you're having a lot of technical questions of that kind, I would probably rather invite you to join our Discord for the developer community. There you can ask all the hard-pressing questions about technicalities, and our team will attend to it. For the second part of the question, that was if we are going to recreate features of Polkadot on Pendulum. Yeah, so we are, of course, using Polkadot as a relay chain. So there is direct communication between Pendulum and Polkadot. And we are also introducing some of the network parameters that we found useful for Pendulum. And the direct relation between Pendulum and Polkadot is that Polkadot is the relay chain and Pendulum is the parachain. So imagine it like a slot that we are going to plug into, and that will allow us to share in the security of Polkadot and also allow us to, yeah, basically communicate with Polkadot and all the other parachains in a very efficient manner. And yeah, therefore, definitely, so far, a very good decision for us to go down this route.
Nice. So all the technical questions in Discord, right?
That would be the best. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll have to ramble on about things that I have not really.
I don't have that many technical questions either.
Perfect.
I can admit that. I would like to know more about your partners, because I saw in your web page that you have quite a lot of partners already.
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of these partners come from when we were still trying to have basically, how do you call it, a paywall for media. So we have pivoted away from that quite some time ago. Most of the current partners that we are very happy to be working with is mostly in the fintech area. Of course, other parachains are also very, very important for us to have good relations for them. And there's a lot of synergy with other parachains in the .Sama space. So that is definitely worth exploring. And of course, also very important to us is to have strong partnerships with providers of stablecoins, as we are trying to build a stablecoin-centric DeFi ecosystem. And of course, that also includes having partners that are able to turn fiat into crypto and the other way around. So yeah, we are already in talks with a lot of on and off ramps across the globe, and very fruitfully so. So yeah, there's going to be an abundance of partnership announcements going forward from here. We are very happy to share them as soon as they are ready for publication.
Nice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you are all under the same umbrella. I mean, Kusama is another coin, right? Or you have a coin on there, and now you have Pendulum. Are they working together somehow, or are they relying on each other, or how does that work?
Yeah, so this is basically the relation as Kusama has to Polkadot. The same pretty much is true for the relation of Amplitude to Pendulum.
Okay.
Yeah, so when there's something cool and innovative that we want to try, or well, everybody is free to build on our Amplitude blockchain. This is basically where you can trial whether your idea is working out the way that you intended it to be, where you can you can go really crazy, and then you can apply the learnings, if there are any, and port your idea to the Pendulum chain. So basically, you can try out all the crazy stuff or not so crazy stuff on Amplitude, and then when you have the idea, okay, this is ready to to move forward, then you would probably push that live on Pendulum.
Okay, nice. So I also saw that on your roadmap you have listed things up till 2024. Where do you have like a vision even more long term? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, that is a good question too. I mean, we definitely have the philosophy that we want to stay agile. So planning ahead further than that, sure, we have plans internally, but depending on how the DeFi world is going to be shaping up leading up to 2024, we also want to, of course, remain agile. So if there is anything that we feel we have to urgently include in the roadmap, that is leaving that possibility for us. And if we feel, okay, this idea is not really worth applying anymore, then we could also kick that item off the roadmap. But of course, we have a very strong vision of where we want to be. And that is basically that we want everybody on the world that is holding fiat tokens, that is admittedly quite a large number of people. We want them to be able to earn risk minimized yield in our ecosystem. And we are going to achieve that through our applications such as forex trading on chain. And if you want to provide liquidity for everybody that wants to trade forex on chain, then you have a very sustainable revenue stream of yield, essentially. So this is definitely where we are seeing ourselves. We are going to be the hub for fiat DeFi in 5 years forward from here.
Okay, nice. So do you see this new coin also be used everywhere, like to be paid with, or in daily life, or?
Yeah, I think that is really something that is not as relevant for cryptocurrencies these days anymore, at least not for what we are trying to do. I think everybody is probably better off spending USDC in an online shop rather than a volatile token. Of course, if things go well, right, tokens go up in price. So I don't really see the benefit of trying to push Pendulum to be available in shops anywhere. You're always just one swap away from turning it into a stable coin that is probably accepted already everywhere. So I think this is not really something relevant for us. Of course, it's nice to have. If some shop wants to go ahead and accept Pendulum tokens, we're of course happy to see it. But yeah, it's not really the use case that we're intending for Pendulum.
Okay, thank you. So I also see that we have lots of people trying to put their hands up here or ask for the word. And before we go and unmute some of them, maybe you have something else that we forgot to talk about that you want to add.
Yeah, good that you bring it up. Let me just briefly mention one of the cool things that we are building in-house. So not only are we creating the blockchain infrastructure, but we are also developing DeFi solutions ourselves. And one of the most notable to be talking about would be Spacewalk. Spacewalk is going to be connecting Stellar to the Polkadot Kusama .sama ecosystem. And that is something that is previously never happened before. So we are definitely trying to break down the silo. You will be able to use your Stellar tokens in the .sama space and vice versa. And the bridge design is, yeah, it is minimizing the risk, the bridging risk that you usually incur when you bridge tokens from one chain to another. We are minimizing that to the best possible degree. If you want to learn how we do it, please check our Medium page. We have a article dedicated to Spacewalk. But yeah, we are very excited about that. And I think some crazy things are going to happen if you allow both ecosystems to interact with one another. So yeah, we're very thrilled to see that in action.
Very nice. So I know here on Twitter space, it takes a little bit for people to get unmuted. So I will unmute maybe 2 or 3 persons at once, but please only one speak first and I will call out your name, okay? So let us start with okay, how can I do this? There. Dave, and I'm also unmuting PLC as the next one. So Dave, please start. What is your question?
Hello, lovely to meet you. It sounds like an amazing project.
Hello,
Dave. It brought to mind because I use Revolut a lot and I send money to people. It's in fiat, but I believe like maybe someday we could send crypto to each other very easily without, using wallet addresses and gas fees, like seamlessly between people. That would be really cool. And do you think that Pendulum could be the next financial tool, like for like a money messenger, a simple app that we could use to invest our money and watch it go up, and see it like grow? I think 2 years is the max. You could say stake is the word stake comes to mind.
Yeah, hey Dave. Sorry, so let me just rephrase if I got your question right. You're basically asking if Pendulum is going to be facilitating money transfers in a more easy way. All right, I got it. Yeah, I mean, we are definitely going to have very cheap transaction fees. That is also partly due to building on Substrate. We are going to use the current address format of how how cryptocurrency addresses usually work, but I think it's a cool idea to actually make it humanly readable. So yeah, that is something that we should definitely be thinking about. It's not something that we are planning for yet. We are actually more focused on allowing people to turn their fiat into crypto and the other way around. Of course, that is still going to come with a little bit of the hassle of addresses and also gas fees, despite minimal. But yeah, so that is really the angle where we want to onboard a lot of people into crypto, but just making it so easy that if you're having, maybe even on Revolut, if you're having a dollar balance there, find some good way to turn it into a crypto of your choice on a chain of your choice. Hopefully there's going to be Pendulum. So that is what we are aiming to do here. But yeah, that is really something to think about, to make it actually also more easy to just send your money to Bob instead of 0xx, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. Thanks for answering that.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you, Dave. So we move into next speaker, PLC. Welcome. What is your question?
Hey, firstly, I had to say this is really impressive. It's the first time I've come across something like this on an AMA. So well done on your developments. So I just wanted to know. So I own an NFT project myself, right? And as we focus more on NFTs, we have our own tokens as well. And every day we look to as we try to establish our tokens, we try to look for blockchains or platforms where we can list our tokens, which is available for the entire world who would like to get their hands on our own tokens. So if I'm about to choose a platform, can you tell me what are the incentives that I would have as a different business owner to come into Pendulum than choose any other platform? What are the benefits that you would say for an outsider who would like to list their tokens, perhaps, if you allow that?
Yeah, very interesting question. Thanks for that. So if you're having a token and you are thinking of, which ecosystem should I choose, then of course, speed and security play a big role here. And then of course, the even bigger role is going to be, how do you actually incentivize people to provide liquidity? I think that is probably going to be the biggest hurdle. Now, if that is interesting to you, we are going to be publishing news that are going to be specifically talking about that. It's just a little bit too early to reveal now, but generally speaking, of course, you are free to bring your token to Pendulum to incentivize liquidity if you have some plan for that. And then it's also definitely worth exploring with our business development team if there is some synergy where we can collaborate on making it worthwhile for people to provide liquidity. So if that is something that is interesting to you, I would really suggest to send an application through the grant program or to email us. I can pass on the relevant email address to you if you just shoot me a DM on Twitter, Telegram, whatever you like. And then we should definitely explore it from there.
Yeah, I'm more of a Discord person, so I'm gonna buzz you in Discord and maybe try to see where we can take this, because I'm really interested in seeing whether a token can be established with you guys as well, and maybe a partnership. So thanks for that.
Awesome, sounds great.
I'll look for you, Jonathan. You'll see another Jonathan, because I'm Jonathan as well.
Okay, okay. We had a brief exchange in Telegram. Perfect.
That's you as well.
That's me as well. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
We already spoke. Cool. Thanks for your question.
Hey, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, PLC, for a good question. I unmuted Bright. I hope you can hear us, Bright. You have to unmute yourself. Do you have a question, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. So I just wanted to know, so what are your strategy in bringing on people that are new into the crypto system, into your projects? And also, I would like to know, can you tell us more about your point of view on the future of the crypto industry?
Sure. Good question. So, of course, onboarding more people to crypto is a challenge that every project is facing. And I think a really good angle here is to allow people that are holding fiat tokens to make a return on that, to earn yield within our ecosystem. So essentially, we are trying to just create an offer that is too good to so that people won't pass on it. And I think focusing on bringing fiat and DeFi together is going to open up a lot of interesting opportunities. I think it will probably see a shift in demographics that also elderly older people are going to eventually tap into it. It's just a question of making the user experience more accessible. And I think the crypto world is probably going to move towards that. Eventually, you will not really know that you're using a blockchain product, but yeah, you can just make an account, deposit fiat into it, and earn yields. What happens in the background, I don't think the average person wants to be concerned with that. And yeah, I think that is actually a very good angle of bringing in a lot of people into crypto. For your second question, where I see the whole space in 3 to 5 years, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting with the amount of innovation that is happening in Polkadot alone, in .sama. As I said earlier, the new use cases that keep getting unlocked are really quite impressive. Yeah, I'm just going to reuse that one because I just think it's such a cool idea. So let's say that you lock up collateral on one chain, may that be Ethereum, and then you can take a loan against that collateral on another chain. So that is where I see the space moving. I think it's going to become more connected. We are going to connect Stellar and Polkadot, and I think that is going to be a trend that will be sweeping crypto, to connect the blockchains, to make the user experience better and also easier to get into. And so I think we're on a good path. I mean, the bear market right now sucks, but overall, the tech is progressing at such a pace that I think, yeah, that is where the innovation is going to be. It's going to be in crypto, and that's probably going to be the thing for, yeah, at least the next 5 years and probably much, much longer.
Nice. Thank you,
Wow.
Bright.
Thank
Are
you
you happy
very
with the answer?
much. Very well satisfied with.
Thank you. So I also unmuted North.
Hello. Great to have you, Jonathan.
We can hardly hear you, North.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Connection. Yes,
Can you
now
hear
I can hear you better.
Okay, thank you very much, Jonathan. Great to have you. So the first thing that caught my attention when I went to your website was the Pendulum portal. So you actually said you will serve as a destination, swapping, governance, voting, and then bridging. So I want to know: is this a kind of a swap function, or I don't know? Can you actually explain this? Are you trying to bring in the swap function? Or does this, and secondly, why did you make it known to us? Because you actually told us that it's becoming, because I believe if it serves as a destination, then it should be something you do in the background. Like, since you're making it known to us now, how exactly would it help us?
Sorry, your connection is not great. The first question, if I understood correctly, was whether we are going to allow swaps through the Pendulum portal. And I'm not really sure on the second one, as your connection was breaking up a little bit. Maybe you can try to rephrase it.
Okay, I said the Pendulum portal. Are you trying to like bring in a swap function into, is it like a swap function, or what function does it serve? Because the only general thing they said there was that it serves as a destination for our swapping, governance, and then bridging. So how exactly why did you actually bring this aside the destination of swapping and all?
Sorry, you're asking for the destination of the swapped assets?
The Pendulum portal. The Pendulum portal. Okay. Just simply tell us more about the Pendulum portal.
All right, sure, gladly will. Yeah, so the Pendulum portal that you can see on our website, it's just a few scrolls away if you're dropping by, is trying to make it easy for people to get into our ecosystem. So, for example, if you're wanting to swap a token, we are going to use an underlying AMM that is going to perform all the magic, but you can all do it conveniently through the portal. So basically, we are trying to give easy access to our DeFi applications, and this is going to be the Pendulum portal. So yeah, the intention is just to make it much easier to bring together all the functionality that we will offer in the portal, instead of asking people to go here to bridge funds, then go there to swap one token to another. And so, yeah, we are basically taking care of all the magic in the background and selecting which dApps we are going to use. If you are an eager DeFi explorer, of course, you're more than welcome to seek out all the services yourself. But if you're just getting into crypto and you don't want to concern yourself with which service should I use, etc., this is essentially going to make your life much easier.
Yes. And one final clarification I'd love to make. Sorry, Mary, please, can I go ahead?
Sure, go ahead.
Sure. You said you actually be incentivizing and those who actually lock their dots. And then there was this issue that came up some months back. Some people actually participated in a testnet. This particular aspect is a testnet, but then they got their reward in the token of that particular project. And then when the project launched, we realized that this particular token was only few cents. So these incentives that you'll be giving out, would it worth what we actually gave out?
Yeah, good question here. Of course, there is no way of telling what the price of a future token is going to be looking like. We are very sure that what we are building has a lot of value to a lot of people, and that will very likely be reflected in the demand for Pendulum tokens. But there is the risk if you participate in a crowd loan and you lock up your tokens for 2 years, then of course you would want good returns on that decision. And we are very confident that we are giving a very fair amount of tokens out to everybody that is participating. And of course, we are also very confident in the blockchain and the apps that we are building. So yeah, this is what I can say. I'm not really able to make any promises or talk about the price of Pendulum tokens or Amplitude tokens, but I hope this answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Thank you, North. Yeah, no financial advice.
That's
Do your
right.
own research, etc. Okay, I put up one last speaker, I think. Jay Doe, do you have a question? Time flies when you have fun, so.
Hear me?
Yes, we hear you, I think.
Yeah, so during the AMA, you said
loud and clear.
Participating in your ecosystem will give us the opportunity to earn risk minimized yield. So my emphasis is on the risk. So could you tell us the risk involved in your ecosystem? That's the first question. And then you also said that we can provide liquidity for the forex trading. So what is the benefits of providing liquidity on the Pendulum platform?
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, your first question is about how are we going to achieve that people are able to earn yield in a risk minimized way. That's a tough one. So we are of course always building our products with a security first approach, but code is of course not impenetrable. So there is also a lot of game theory going into how we design things. So, for example, on Spacewalk, you will have to lock up collateral on one chain to mint the token on the next chain. And this system is basically making it not worthwhile for anybody to actually try to act in a malicious way. So that would be one example. Also, when talking about risk minimized yield, in the example of our forex application that is being built, I definitely recommend you to check out the white paper and the website of Amber. Let me just look it up that I'm giving you the right address here. All right, yeah, that is 0xamber.com. Very interesting white paper, and Amber is going to be the automated market maker that is going to facilitate forex trading on chain. And it comes with various, with two options for providing liquidity. One would be without impermanent loss, single-sided provision of liquidity. And then there would be also the option that you bear risk to, so you have the risk of impermanent loss, and then you would be rewarded much greater for taking that risk with tokens. So yeah, how do you earn risk minimized yield? Of course, that is partly due to our security first approach. And then also we are trying to offer ways where people can engage in liquidity provision without the usual risks that are associated with it, such as impermanent loss. So yeah, that is definitely an interesting option for everybody that is just trying to earn a reliable yield on their fiat tokens. You provide them on Amber single-sidedly. There is no impermanent loss risk for you. And I think that is going to be a game changer, really, and we are hoping that a lot of people will take interest in that. Sorry, is that answering your second question? Maybe you'll need to refresh my memory.
Yeah, it does answer it a bit, but then you never really talked about the benefits. So like if I decide to be a liquidity provider and take the option without impermanent loss, what benefits do I receive? Do I just, I want to know what benefits I get from doing that.
Right, yeah, so your benefit would be earning yield. So of course, we are not expecting anybody to provide liquidity just to help us achieve, well, deeper liquidity, but of course we are going to be rewarding that. So yeah, there is definitely going to be an incentive scheme for everybody that wants to get in. And as it usually goes, being early usually brings the best yield. So definitely worth keeping tabs on the development here. Yeah, check out 0xamber.com. That is going to be the automated market maker facilitating on-chain forex trading. And that is also offering the option to earn yield with single-sided liquidity provision. Very cool. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, you should definitely check it out.
Thank you, Jay. Good questions.
Thank you.
And good questions, everyone. I see there are lots of more hands up, and unfortunately, we don't have time to take everyone. I think maybe you had somewhere to be, Jonathan. Is that correct?
It's fine. We can take two more, and then we can wrap it up if that's all right with you.
Okay, sure. Let's take one more. And I'm gonna unmute David. And you choose one, Jonathan. Who shall we mute?
I'm not seeing raised hands right now. I think you'll have to make the pick.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Hello, am I audible?
Hey there.
Yes, you are. Go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
My question is, what is your biggest obstacles to build this project and build this community? I will love to know. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so I would say the biggest challenge is to really make people take the leap into .sama. So yeah, when you're trying to convince people of the merits of the ecosystem that you're participating in, that is probably the challenge here. So probably everybody has MetaMask installed, but probably very few people have wallets installed for engaging with the .sama ecosystem. So yeah, that is, I mean, that was a little bit of a challenge for me myself, trying to get into .sama. There's a lot to read, there's a lot to understand, but that is definitely worth it. I invite everybody to try it. There's a lot of cool wallets that you can use that are also EVM compatible. So yeah, that is basically what we are trying to do. We are very eager to convince people that really all the action in DeFi and maybe all of the blockchain space is currently in .sama. Maybe a little bit controversial here, but I'm very convinced of it. And yeah, so this is basically what we are trying to do. You have a MetaMask installed. Perfect. Let's try to get you to install Talisman as well and take the deep dive into .sama.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keep growing,
Thank you,
sir.
David.
Keep building. Keep building, sir.
We will.
The last person I found was Polygon Baby.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
We can hear.
A bit muffled.
Yeah.
Okay, so straight to the point, I discovered that Pendulum was developed by SatoshiPay. So I would like to know, are there any more payment platform you plan on integrating on your platform?
Yeah, so SatoshiPay is the company that is developing both Pendulum and Amplitude Chain. And your question was whether we are going to integrate more. Sorry, you'll have to repeat that part.
I said, I saw your platform was developed by SatoshiPay.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to know, do you have a means of integrating other payment systems or other payment platforms to your own project?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you have a payment system and you want to integrate with Pendulum or Amplitude, then we are very happy to hear it. That's also one of the reasons we are running our grants program. We are not expecting people to pour their time and effort into a project that is running on our chain without at least getting expertise and funding in cases where it is useful. So yeah, whatever it is that you're trying to build on Pendulum or Amplitude, we are very eager to hear it. And if it is making sense for us to also support it with funding and access to our team, then we are always very happy to do that as well.
Oh, noted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Jonathan. It was really lovely to have you here.
The pleasure is mine.
Try and teach us a little bit about this, for me and for many others in here that I know, a new chain that we haven't really been into very much yet, but it seems very interesting. And I hope, and I'm sure many in here now wants to look into this more and learn more about it. And please join Pendulum's all socials like Twitter, and you have Telegram and Discord, I think.
That's
Discord
right, yeah.
might be the main area to ask technical questions, we know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Perfect. So before we end, I'll give you the floor, Jonathan, to have some closing statement. What do you like us to go away from this with?
Yeah, so I definitely want to very much invite everybody to join our chats. There is a lot going on. We are having a lot of exciting announcements that we are going to break. We have a grant program. We have an ambassador program that is going to relaunch early next week. So that is probably the best opportunity for everybody to get involved with Pendulum and Amplitude and the stuff that we're building. And yeah, if you want to learn more, if you have fiat tokens and you want to earn yield on them, then yeah, Pendulum is going to be the place to be. And if you want to discuss about any of that, then please go ahead. You'll find me in all of our socials, and yeah, I would love to have a chat with you. So feel free to drop by. We are open 24/7.
Nice. So if you don't have Polkadot and want to stake them 2 years, how can you buy this Pendulum now then?
Yeah.
You have to wait, right?
Yeah. There's already a few scam tokens going around trying to capitalize on the pace that we are developing. So don't fall for it.
Yeah.
You cannot buy pen tokens yet. Follow our socials for when it will be announced where trading is going to pick up. And yeah, that will probably be the second best opportunity after the crowd loan to get your hands on Pendulum tokens.
Great. So yeah, always be careful and cautious about people trying to sell you stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't be cautious enough, actually. It's
right,
very
yeah.
easy to fall into.
I also don't send DMs on Telegram, so beware of that too.
Yeah. Never first, anyway.
Right.
Maybe you answer if someone asks you something. Okay, people, this has been a blast, and I hope we'll see each other soon. And thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming. And I hope you come back to tell us more later when you launch maybe or something like that.
That would be lovely.
So yes, have a good wherever you are, guys, and see you soon.
Thank you, Mary. Thanks for everybody asking questions and listening. Wishing you a great weekend and see you in the chat. Bye-bye.
Same to you. Bye-bye.